Now can you hear me?
Yes, sir. There
Okay.
we are. All right, so you're gonna run the big three, and I'll hand you over host, and after that, I'll run a couple alts, and we'll check out. Sound good?
Sound good.
All right, it's yours.
Give me 1 second. I'm posting the link over on the main group
Cool.
right now. And then I'll go back over here. And I need to share screen. That's what we want. All right. We don't need to be on a Doge pound. All right. We don't need to be on that. So right now, everybody's watching Bitcoin. We've been testing the top. This is the 4 hour. And what I'm looking for on Bitcoin is for us to hold this past support level right here at 21274. If we can hold that past support level and get buyers above 24K, let's switch this over to the 1 day. Then we could be looking at a 37K retest, which would put us up in this area where you got a little breakdown in resistance. You can see here we have past support. If we can get up to around 41K. So 25 to 28 right now is what I'm looking at. 28K should hit us some resistance if we keep pushing, but if not, that's what we're looking for Bitcoin to look higher. If we do actually get some FOMO up into 41, then we'll be looking at a 54K retest. Let's go over to, well, hold on. If we break down, if 21,274 breaks down, then I'm looking for it to test 2188 support. You can see that right there. This is on the 1 day. And support would go all the way down to right here around 18,500. You wouldn't want to push any lower than 18,500. If you push any lower, then it's going back down to around 16,800 or lower. Let's look at ETH real quick. This is on the 1 day, past support to past resistance. So right now, ETH needs to hold above the 618 around 1480. You can see we have past support down here around 1441 to 1377. So that would be your next support level if it breaks down. If we push up, we're looking at a 1913 test all the way up to 3046, where you can see once again we have that little breakdown in resistance in the cloud. And we got some past support right here at 2871. If we do get some FOMO there and they want to go and test the old top, I'd expect it to push up to around 3774 to 4181. To downside, if we do break below the support down here, around 1377, and old resistance, which is acting support, 1212 breaks, then I'd be looking for it to go down here and test the old bottom around 998. If that fails, and we're going to go all the way back down here and test this old bottom in the cloud, which would be around, let's see, 395 to 173. That'd be a crash right there. Let's go look at LTC real quick. So LTC, I'm pulling from support here, 8060. Support's going to end down in here. Zoom in real quick at 5390. So if we can keep pushing higher and we can hold the support level in here and we start pushing higher, we're looking at 97, test 166. Now this one don't really have a breakdown. There's a little bit of a breakdown in the resistance area, but there's no support in there around 109. If we can get some FOMO around 171, then we'd look at testing the old top 235 to 310. If we do break below 53 support here, we'd go down and test the old bottom around 43. If we wanted to set a new bottom, we could be looking at 38, test 32, test 22. And for the last one, let's look at Doge real quick. I'll hand it back over to you. This is from old support from this pop here. Doge popped pretty good, and it gave it pretty much almost all back. So where are we at? We're at the pivot pretty much. Doge needs to hold 8 cent old resistance. If it can't hold 7.2, then it's possible to go back and test 0.061. If 0.061 fails, then we're looking at a 0.052 test. If it wanted to set a new bottom, can I even do that on this chart? I don't know if I can. This might be a Coinbase. It ain't gonna have it. 4.9 would have to fail. I've always said if Doge loses 3 cent, it's possible it go back to 0.003. All right, let's pass it over to you, Scott. Show us what you got.
All right. You got my voice?
Yep, I got your voice and I stopped my screen share.
All right. Let's see here. You got my screen?
Yep, got your screen.
Awesome. All right. Well, I got some of a few of the same just because they haven't completed the moves yet. So to begin, Maple, all of my alts, everything that I've been interested in this little retracement move that we've done abroad, I've very simply been aiming here on every single move. So as I roll the board, just a quick show of how I roll the board, just to make it clear when I say I'm rolling the board, this is exactly what I do when I roll the board. I'm literally rolling the board. So I can see very quickly what has progressed more or less in the move. So I roll the board like this constantly just to see. And as soon as I see something that hasn't made the move in the November timeframe, November's what I'm aiming for. So this one, it still has legs, but it's only 16%. It's not worth my time. So after saying that, having said that, that's why I land on things like this. Maple, we started down here at 5. It has and has had always a double and a double and a half in it. This is confident right here. I mean, obviously, trade at your own risk, everything. This is all for fun and entertainment. But this is a good RR trade. When I first entered the trade, I was here, just under 5. I enter there. If I can enter at that point, place a stop below. I mean, I know there's not much structure here, but this is just for instance, and place an 8% stop. I can have an 8% stop. I'm just kind of explaining things as I go, Amos.
Mm-hmm.
And 113% reward, confident reward. That's over a 10 to 1. These are the kind of trades I look for all over the place. I don't care what it is. Maple. I never even saw Maple prior to finding this chart. I saw, and what helps me out with this, let me delete these real quick because I want to keep the charts the same as I go. Another thing, there's volume here, and at the inception of Maple. Other than that, we had a little bit of stuff here right after the bottom. And no volume until right now. That's huge, huge volume on Maple. That's 208,000 shares of Maple traded in 1 4-hour period. I don't ignore stuff like that. But
right?
all of these things together just kind of make up my trading
How many shares does
system.
it have? Do you remember?
Right now there's 4 million. Max supply ever is 10. And I'm not a fundy guy. I don't ever pretend to be a fundy guy.
Right.
Um, but there's 10 million max. There's 4 million now. 4 million and some change. But these are the reasons I trade Maple. I've traded Maple and I've been interested in it because
So
there's always a double.
I'm looking at the 4 hour on Maple right now, and it shows 599 to 306 support.
Okay.
So 452 would be your pivot.
599 and for what?
452 your pivot. 306 is the bottom of support on the 4 hour.
Oof. 306 is all the way back down at the bottom.
All the way
So
back down. Yep.
so basically what I was saying, through the rooms, not in the last live or anything, but if price gets down, the reason I draw these lines and I clone it is because price will progress itself. So it'll respect this trend. And now it seems as though it's making another one. The same exact trend, just cloned on top of itself. So I may want to add, if it comes back down here, if it wicks and we get a red phone call and it wicks all the way back down to this one, I may want to add down here. But if it breaks this whole thing on the retest, depending on what Bitcoin's doing, on the
Mhm.
retest of this trend, I think about getting out because I'm already in profit. It's proven me wrong. I don't change anything in my trading until I'm proven wrong or it does its target. So that's a lot of explanation for one trade, but I'm just kind of walking it through, having some fun and seeing if everybody knows what I'm talking about as I'm speaking. Uma's another one I've been interested in for years. Break the big trend line. If we get a red phone call and it respects the trend, 250 is a given. Retest to this November top. Again, November is what I'm aiming at. 280s, confident. And if we get the UMA pump, 420 to $5. That's what I'm looking for because the amount of time that UMA's been flat, when crypto goes flat like this and there's not a lot of volatility up and down like this, it's like a spring coiling itself up with energy. And the longer it stays flat with no volatile moves, the harder it pushes when it goes. So there's UMA. Mirror, same thing from last time. Long coiled up spring. Here's the long-term trend line from May. Now, this one doesn't have a structure that I'm aiming at the top. We've already broke it, which, some cryptos have done that, like Fed and Ocean and, many, many more,
Got a nice
LCX.
little pop.
Yeah, a lot of them have done this move, this way up here move. But as soon as Mir pops this trend line and does, this red thing that I just deleted, as soon as it does it, it can have legs because Mir gets volatile as well, like that. But I'm waiting for either 59 or 95. Not Mir, but File hasn't made it to my first target yet. I hope it does. It's giving me doubts at the moment because it's creating a pretty deep bull flag scenario. But that's confident. That's the retest in November that everything is doing right now. But File gets volatile as well. It was one of the first ones to do this move back in August. So yeah, pretty straightforward. And these are the new ones. So Algo, of everything, because we're so progressed in this move, this is one we're running out of alts to find to do this move until we get higher moves proven to us. So Algo has 50% still in it. That's a high return right now because most of them have done most of the move. So Algo, that's just very simply November target, breakdown, aim for the square up, 50% on the table.
Nice.
Same thing with Teller, but it's not the November. But look at that square. And this thing likes to get it when it goes. Lots of volume, no volume yet, but we're progressing. And as soon as In my opinion, as soon as we break this top, it's open air to this point, and that's a double.
Yeah, it's a
Uh,
nice.
I'm a doubles guy, Amos. I love doubles. You know, I love doubles.
I don't think I've ever even looked at this.
What, algo or teller?
Teller, yeah, teller.
Yeah, just I like it clean square up. I mean, I don't ignore volume, square ups, and the consistent targets. I know this is not November, but this is a clean ass square. Stacks, block stacks, the volume, the volatility, and these right here
Mm-hmm.
are why I like stacks.
One hell of a wick.
So let me find out why. Okay, so obviously there's only 20% to get to the November square. But because of the volume, I'm running raw. I had no plan, Amos. If I have a plan, I think it's gonna lose my focus. I kind of roll the chart as I go. So because of the volatility in this candle and these other candles, make me think I don't think this is a low supply coin. I think it's in the hundreds of millions. But because of the volatility in these candles and this volume, I think if it pops and we continue, it's all going to be based on Bitcoin and what Bitcoin does and whether it can sustain, continue going higher, hold support, or it break down and we get a down move and break these structures. If we continue going up, things like stacks, and this is not the only one that has this structure. A lot of them right now are holding this blue on the 4 hour, a lot of them. So if this move opens up because of these candles, these wicks, things that have this structure could go to this top target.
That's
And that,
nice little move.
and that's huge. That opens up a lot more trades for us. And the last one I got is this one. I wish I had the blueprint. I couldn't remember the blueprint that I got this from.
Damn.
But this blueprint, its inception was November. This blueprint's first target is here.
Yeah, it's a nice move.
150%. I wish I had the blueprint that I got this off of, but I'll post it in the chat later. But that's a huge move. Yeah, I know nothing about it. I don't know the market cap, supply, anything, but it's a direct blueprint from something else, and that's where it went. But that's I mean, we could continue scrolling, but everything is pretty much made these moves. If it's done moves like this, I'm not interested. I don't look at the chart unless I find a blueprint or something similar that has not made this move yet. I don't look at things that have already pumped unless I'm looking for one in a similar structure that has yet to pump and use it as a blueprint. But other than that, that's kind of where I stand in the market. Just kind of wait until Bitcoin makes its decision if we're going to continue going up to 25, 26, 28, 29, or if we're going to break down now and
Break under 21K. If it
Right.
breaks under 20K, then it's probably resetting to 18.
right. So yeah, like here, I was highly confident we were retracing to here. So I mean, you could tell we need a retracement. We need some kind of pullback. It would be healthy even if we came down to here. Even if we came down to here now, still, it's a healthy move.
Oh, but they're saying never under 20K again.
Oh yeah, yeah. All the crypto Twitter people. But at this point, if we continue rising in the buy volume down here, if we continue, I do say we go now to 25, 26, then we retrace maybe back down here to 21. But until we get to certain points, I really don't have a plan and I don't know where it's going. I just kind of plan for the next month. I mean, I don't know how you do it, Amos. I'm very quick. I try to get my targets,
Now, if
place
I
my
don't get
trades with good
target-
risk
right,
reward.
If I don't get my targets, I just move on to something else.
Right.
My buy targets and my sell targets, as long as they don't drop down below my my stop loss, I'll just hold them and until they prove me invalid.
Yeah, same. But yeah, that's basically all I got. What time is it?
No, that's a pretty good room.
20
Mhm.
minutes. Yeah,
Yeah.
what you can extend yours next time, but yeah, we'll end this and we'll see you guys in the chat.
All right. Thanks, man.
Yes, sir.